Good morning, trading friends. Soon we'll have also the Christmas, so during the next days I'm not going to make more streams. So to everyone, I'm wishing having a very blessing Merry Christmas to everyone, and also happy, successful, profit making and healthy New Year 2024 to everyone. I'm gonna now making some new updates. So we take it away. We begin with 4 hourly chart of NASDAQ, and as we have seen already, the all-time high of 2021 broken very painfully but successfully, and the current new all-time high is at 16,828. If we look back to NASDAQ, and I try to demonstrate it shortly, then we can see here as we have been reaching the all-time highs in 2021, and if we compare that to this area in 2023, so the circumstances have been very differently. As here in 2021 we had the threatening of hiking the interest rates, we had very strong US dollar, and also increasing of the bonds. And that was the reason, or the main reasons, that the forecasted earnings for the companies have been projected negatively. So the market is always trading the future. For instance, if something is expected for the next year, the market is trading in now. And that was also the reason that we had a very strong but very volatile bear market, and happily that was over at around January, December 2022, January 2023, and there we have seen that the market has already started its bullish rally, until, of course, in the meanwhile, we had many factors, we had many events, mainly caused by Federal Reserve speeches. We had during this time many weeks where I remember around 15 times the Fed members were talking during a week. And of course, that's making the investors and the traders somewhere unsecure and also scared. That was the reason that we had also this volatile phase. And finally, after receiving our next buy signal at around 14,200, the next rally started, but it threatened to break unless the Fed, Mr. Jerome Powell, announced that inflation is down and they're going now to cut the rates. Of course, in the meanwhile, we are expecting here and there maybe some Fed members are talking market or opposite the market, but the general sentiment is rising. On the other side, we have, especially today and during the last days, also many reports, earning reports of the companies that have been correcting their earnings projection. Yesterday, the market was in a mood of profit taking. That is the reason that we had this little drop. It's not a sudden drop, it was somewhere expected. As in my analysis, if you go into my pages, there you find I've been announcing that after breaking the all-time high of 2021, we're gonna have some stages of profit taking. That's of course beneficial for both for the bears and also for the bulls. For the bears who are mainly trading or focusing their attention on lower time frames, meaning profit taking, selling the market on daily basis on lower time frame. Also for the bulls, because they have the possibility to use this backtrap and the power of the trend, of the strong bullish trend, uh, we have here. And if we go translate it now on higher time frames, so for example, we can interpret this as a bearish flag. That is a very good confirmation of trend continuation. My next profit taking is at around 17,613 before we go to 19,000, and at around 19,200 I'm expecting the next possible correction before we go to above 20 and then 23,000 points. So now I'm going to the market. What's happening now? Today we had good data. We had the very important GDP, USG, gross domestic products report, and it was as expected. But on the other side, the unemployment claims have been increasing. That's not so good for the US dollar, but on the other side, also very useful for the bulls who are trading in NASDAQ. So to my followers, I announced already, be aware of taking short. And if you do that, just use the short moves for profit taking. Instead, wait your time to reach the levels to get in and to participate further of NASDAQ trading. So we can see here the main support resistances already. And I said also in the minds and the chat, avoid to buy the 16,660 levels. Why? Because that's a so-called fair value price of the market for today, of course. And as we can see, the market or the formation from the all-time high until now, we are steady in a wedge. That's a consolidation pattern, in this case, a bullish consolidation pattern. So we're gonna wait until the market is touching the lower line of this wedge at around 16,641, and we can consider on the volume. If the volume is going back, it meaning that the bulls gain power and instead the bears are losing power. So it would be a good and potential point to get bullish again. For day traders may be interesting where to set the next possible or potential profit taking. Possible is everything. The potential, and what I mean by that is that the win loss ratio should be in minimum 2 to 1. That would be at around 16,730. If there are traders more encouraged and bold, then they can put the next possible or potential profit target at 16,775. The next one will be at around 16,823 to 600, 800, 16,848, or maybe higher. If you can consider the market breaking the 16,630 levels, and if you calm down, then the next potential entry will be at around 16,572. The next one is at around 16,519. And then after that, the market will try to fill this gap at around 16,348. The range of this gap is at around 16,348 to 16,143. And I need to confess, we have been already filling this area from 16,300 to 16,100 twice in the past. So it would be a very, very strong support for NASDAQ or for this all-time high that the market can rest and breathe a little bit. So in a trend, we have two phases. The market runs or takes a rally, and the market takes a breeze to accumulate and gain power, rest, and continues the trend again. And that's exactly happening, but on bigger picture. For trend followers, any kind of trend followers are now in very good charge to gain of this very powerful potential, especially not only NASDAQ, but also the other indices like DAX or DE40, S&P 500, RTY breaking after a very long time its consolidation pattern and in a very big rally. If we look at the US dollar, interestingly, we see continuously it's exactly the opposite happening since 2021, and now the dollar pairs or nearly every asset is gaining against the US dollar as the US dollar is dropping down and down. So that's a very fantastic trend of the US dollar as the market is participating of the forecast and projection of the interest rates cuts in 2024. On the other hand, we see also that we have here and there sometimes some jumps of the bonds, but the trend of the bonds and yields also bearish. So everything fundamentally and technically speaking for higher prices in NASDAQ. Of course, on the internet, we see or we hear or listen to some crash profits, whatever. So I don't take them so seriously. Just keep focus on your trading system, whatever you are using. Might it be the most simple trading system what you use? Putting stop losses are essential always, all the time. Having patience is essential, and taking your time to give the market to breathe a little bit. For instance, you taking an entry, the market is not running immediately in your direction and you take out that trade, but on the following day or the day after, you see that the market moved 1%, 2% or more in your projected and forecasted direction, but without you. So it's also essential to give the market a little bit time to recover, because like you, there are many traders on different time frames, on longer and also on low time frames. There are private traders, there are retail traders, and there are big institutions. And on the other hand, we are nearing to Christmas time and also to the New Year. So that's giving the market to rest a little bit. The most important event, or the first very important event of the future from now, is not 2023, is 2024, and that will be the 5th of January, the date. Remember that, between the 5th and 10th of January, the NASDAQ, or all assets, especially the shares and indices you are trading, they must in minimum play on this level, meaning on this bullish level. And if the better is they reach the highest level and try to break it out, if it will happen after the 10th of January, we will have a very much more stronger next NASDAQ year in 2024. Why? Well, that's going back to some long-term cycles, and there are some traders who made also the survey and study to research the surveys, and each year or every year S&P 500 or NASDAQ or Dow Jones, for example, they tried to break the highest highs between this time or during this time, 5th to 10th of January. At the end, it has been a very strong bullish year. If not, and the market is not trying that, but also consolidating on these patterns, we will here and there see also new higher highs, but we must be prepared for a pullback deepestly to the level of the highest high of 2021, meaning to around 16,600 to 16,700. It's not meaning that we will have a crash. Of course, the crash prophets will announce it. Yes, the world is going down. No, 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 no. It's not happening. It's just a technical correction. But trading, a good quality trading is taking a lot of efforts, and not only technical or price action is important, but also the circumstances that are surrounding these price actions. If the market during this time goes below 16,700 to 16,500, then we must be prepared for a possible bearish year in NASDAQ. So from now on, the fundamentals very bullish. The economic is or global economic circumstances are recovering very well. There is a big amount of liquidity, money of private investors, especially the small caps in the market, waiting to make new investments, and also a very big bullish power is waiting to accumulate, and especially the hedge funds, the big financial institutions who've been suffering since 2021 in the markets and have had negative performances. They are waiting now to compensate it and to accumulate their bullish power to invest in the markets. So for today, as you can see, we had good data, but the market is waiting now for tomorrow PMI. Tomorrow, after announcing the market, possibly we will have a good trend and rally day. Why? Because we will have tonight and also tomorrow pre-market many announcing earnings, and also some on the same time as PMI data will be released. So be prepared for that and keep focused. I wish you having a very blessing and happy Merry Christmas for you and your families and friends, and also Happy New Year 2024. And we see us possibly on the streams in next year.